Hi, this is Coach Chan from Uppercut Martial Arts Studio. Today's video, we're going to talk about the 8 techniques for yellow belt, Group 8. And in these 8 techniques, 4 of them is to prep them for the next pattern in yellow-green belt, which is called Tosan. And the other 4 techniques is a combination of kicking that allows them to start moving comfortably. Because in yellow-green belt, I start my students off with light sparring. So they need to learn to use all those kicking techniques they have practiced since white belt and learn how to apply them when they reach yellow-green belt. So the first technique is outer forearm block with obverse punch. To be honest, I'm still confused with the word obverse and reverse. In the encyclopedia, it says obverse is on the side where the legs are bent. So if I'm performing L stand, this is obverse punch. So, and this is reverse punch. So this is a bit confusing to me because when I do this punch, and this is bending, this is obverse punch, and this is reverse punch. So I'm not sure whether I'm on the correct path, but the first technique for white yellow belt is actually the first 2 techniques for the pattern Tosan. So it's outer forearm block and obverse punch. So both on walking stand, full facing. It's very simple. Cross hand, sine wave, raise your body up, drop forward, eye level. Now this technique you have to be careful because if you do not perform your body full facing correctly, your elbow cannot actually come in. So some people do half facing indirectly without noticing, especially new students, and their elbow is automatically this way. So I usually ask them to go for the weird feeling where you push the elbow inwards, the blocking arm is going outwards to block, and this is to me kind of a weird feeling, and I will ask my student to remember this feeling. All right, and obverse punch will be the other arm on the spot. I will stretch my blocking arm for the purpose of reaction force. Push your body forward, raise the arm, then you drop back, reverse punch. All right, so double action is not confusing when you're doing 1 time, but when you go for tests, you're doing 8 times, 4 times 2, 4 times the back. So it's a bit confusing when you're doing a continuation of outer forearm block obverse punch, but we just fix on that. I'll teach you a trick. So again, outer forearm block, full facing, the weird feeling. Then push your body forward, raise the punching arm, stretch your block arm, then sit back down, center punch, obverse punch. This is the first technique I teach my students of yellow belt. And this is the first technique for Tosan. And when you move forward, the last punching arm will be your first blocking arm. This is the trick I teach my students so that they won't get confused. So that will be it. So remember this technique, all 8 of them, because there will be another video on application where I will explain how I interpret all this technique into self-defense. Right? So we're moving on to the second technique. This technique is a combination of spear hand walking stand, press spinning spear hand, and spinning back fist, all in 1 action. So the yellow belt will start to feel the complication because if you're just doing spear hand walking stand, it's too simple. And of course, I'll start them off with spear hand, open arms. I always use the word carrying a log, all right, on your body, because a lot of students will carry their hand like this at the side, all right, and hence when they throw that spear hand, they will look like they are chopping. So this is very important to explain to them that you're throwing a spear, and the spear has to be horizontal to thrust forward, not throwing forward. You don't use your spear this way, it's not effective. So I always have to try to draw that picture so that they can imagine how the spear looks like and how they throw that spear forward. So throwing the arm forward, carrying the log this way. Alright, the leading leg is the spearing hand side. So the other hand is actually pushing down incoming punch, as is explained in the encyclopedia. So push down, attacking the solar plex with your spear hand with 3 fingers. Alright, this is the part that you have to explain sometimes. If not, they'll just form it this way without understanding the application, which I want to further explain in another video. Alright, so that's it. Arms forward, direct to the solar plex, body, center, walking stance, full facing. Now this second action, alright, is press spinning. So this way I would turn both my leg into semi-sitting stand. See that? On the ball of the foot, not the heel of the foot. And turning my body from full facing to half facing, not side, half facing. All right. Now, let me just get through with this technique first. Spear hand, then press spinning. So my feet and my hand will thrust at the same time. All right. This will get a bit of practice. The application is in another video. So now when I do the spinning back face, you have to make sure your body is straight. Alright, and try to turn as much until the body is slightly half facing forward, and throw the back face, walking stand, this way. Alright, so in other words, the back face is actually quite simple. We are using the side 2 knuckle here to hit. For me, it's the temple, not the whole back of the face to slap the face. Those are different techniques. Alright, and be careful. This is all your soft bones, and this is the hard bone. So this spot to reach the temple is much more effective. So when a lot of students do this, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't tell a story. So I would imagine the face in front of me, and I want to hit that temple instead of going the opposite side, which they are hitting nothing. Alright, and this is full facing, but I will slightly turn my body to half facing because I need to reach that angle of the temple instead of this way, because the target to me is just doesn't make sense. Alright, so it's spear hand walking stand, press spear hand, spin back face walking stand. So it's be like this, press, turn, back face walking stand. And this is also a technique in the next pattern, Tosan. So that's why I need them to start training this way to prepare them, or else when they reach the next level, it's really, really difficult. Alright, and this is my syllabus. Okay, so technique number 3 is slightly simpler, which is, let me think, wedging block, front kick double punch. So wedging block is consisting of 2 outer form block. Alright, now this action, you have to explain to them to throw both arm to the shoulder line, parallel. So you're actually throwing forward instead of throwing side, which is a common thing when you look at the students. They will throw the arm to the side. Alright, now you throw them forward to hit the elbow joint. Alright, or when someone's trying to grab you, you hit their hands before they reach your body. Alright, it doesn't make sense that when someone putting their arm on your shoulder and you try to, it doesn't work. It's before they reach your arm. Okay, that's my interpretation. So wedging block, walking stand, throw forward. Make sure you don't bend your wrists. Okay, they are straight. front snapping kick, and start reaction force. The landing front leg is the first punch. That's your reaction. Push forward. There you go. See that? So again, the double action. See that? 1, 2 is already explained in white yellow belt techniques number 3, which is lower, push forward, raising block. So that is the reason why I do not dwell on too much, because I already explained that, and the students, it's their job to practice until you get it right. Okay? So again, wedging block, front snapping kick, reaction force, forward, punch. So this is technique number 3. Number 4 is actually the last technique for Tosan, is knife hand slash on sitting stand. So sitting stand is side facing. Alright, keeping your back straight is important, and not this way, or the feet too small or too big. So it has to be just nice. Keep your body straight, slash and turn your head at the same time. I always like to cross my hand in front of my body. Alright, then you move forward. Even when they turn after performing 4 times, they will pull their front leg back to simulate the actual action when they complete the pattern Tosan. So these are the 4 techniques related to the next pattern for yellow-green belt. And technique number 5 onwards is practice their kicking technique. The first one, of course, they pull back with guarding block, half facing. The first technique is front kick, back kick. Front kick, feet together. I do not ask them to place their feet forward, because the turning part they cannot control the balance. I want them to experience how to control the turning part. That's why I ask them to put their feet together and turn. Then you bring your leg up this way. Now this way they have more mobility to turn and control their kicks instead of rushing forward and they drop because they are creating too much force in this way. So I would rather ask them to control and learn how to get the angle right so that you can have a better kicking action. Feet together. So of course, technique number 6, 7 and 8 is very simple. Turning kick, back kick, side kick, back kick, and back kick, back kick. All 4 kicking techniques is for them to practice how to control their turning action instead of kicking and dropping all over the place, right? So the second one is turning kick, back kick. And the third one, side kick, back kick. You already know this, it's in your white belt syllabus. Feet together. And the last one, back kick, back kick. All 8 techniques. Now, before I end the video, I would need to explain on turning kick. Turning kick is a special kick. I'm not sure, I can't recall whether I explained this for white belt because this is their first kicking technique. Turning kick, you go for 45 degree. You don't kick in front, you kick 45 degree. Reason being, I've been thinking about this a long time. When you go for straight line, 180 degree line, your body turns. But if your body does not turn, it doesn't make sense. And the power of turning kick is this angle. This angle, not front. Those who are able to kick straight line with a lot of power because they understand how to pivot with their front ball of the foot. But when they kick, it's still 45 degree. It's the same angle. That is the strongest angle, degree for you to throw. You want to throw forward, turn your body. That is how you throw your turning kick. So I hope this video will tell you a lot more about how I train my students to get their foundation strong and prep them to get ready for their yellow belt test. The next video, I'm going to talk about one-step sparring. White yellow belt is training three-step sparring to learn about distance. Yellow belt to learn about quick responses. One-step sparring. It's going to be very easy and straightforward if you have watched my white yellow belt three-step sparring video, because the technique is the same. It's just different approach. Alright, so I hope you like this video. You can post any comments on YouTube after this video, because I like to discuss, to learn more, as my passion for Taekwondo never dies. So see you next video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Bye bye.